Hello, I am the store manager here at Computing Paradise. Here at Computing Paradise, we are a computer shop, works on computers, builds and sells new computers, getting into classic video games as well. And we got a hot, I do mean hot, holiday item here, running for the suggested MSRP retail price of $79.99 plus tax. Straight from Nintendo. Got in a shipment of these things. We're going to undercut the scalpers. So, for those of you out there that want the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, also known as the Super Nintendo Mini, it's actually the SNES Classic Edition. Don't feed the scalpers. Scalpers are people that suffer from ERPS, that's employment-resistant personality syndrome. So, we're going to be selling these here at Computing Paradise for the manufacturer's suggested retail price of only $79.99 plus tax. And we're also going to keep track of who purchases them. So we really don't want these showing up on Facebook Marketplace. We don't want them showing up on eBay. We don't want people reselling them on Amazon or Craigslist or anything else for a severely gouged price of nearly twice the MSRP price of only $79.99. Keep in mind, that's the price that Nintendo decides these things are worth. So you got these non-workers out there, rejects, defective people, greedy, selfish, scalpers, scumbag, greedy resellers, who feel that working a job is for suckers. So, anyway, you see these show up online for any amount more than $79.99. You know something's wrong, okay? So, for you greedy little scalpers out there, we're not selling these to you, okay? You come beating on my door here at Computing Paradise, you ain't getting these. Alright, I hope you know that. Alright, so scalpers are my mortal enemies. Greedy resellers, and I'll tell you why. I've worked in retail for years. And, you know, if I'm selling something, well, if my employer, because I'm just the manager here, I don't own this business right here, but I'm just the manager here. So, throughout the years, I've worked at employers, and if the things we sell are even just 5% above what Amazon's selling them for, then you know, customers and the public feels entitled to throw a fit, and I've heard it for years. Walmart's got it cheaper. Listen, I can get it cheaper on Amazon. Do you price match eBay? Yeah, it really gets old, okay? So, classic video games from the early 1990s, even some of them from the mid-1990s. What we got on here? So, on this box here, we got Super Mario World. We got Contra 3, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Super Mario Kart, Star Fox, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, awesome, Kirby's Dream Course, F-Zero, Earthbound, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Donkey Kong Country, Castlevania, 4, Punch-Out, Street Fighter 2, Turbo. Lots of cool games. And also never before publicly released Star Fox 2. So what you'll typically see is you go in a retail store, you know, there's a line of people, you know, these things are being rationed out, you know, these retail stores are getting periodic replenishment shipments, but you got those people that got plenty of free time to just track when these things are going to be coming into stores, and then they just line up and they purchase these things so you can't. So they these piece of crap scumbag greedy resellers will buy this at $79.99 and pay sales tax. And then they put them on Facebook Marketplace. They put them on Craigslist. They put them on eBay. They put them on Amazon. They even resell them on on Walmart's website as a third-party seller for anywhere from $120 on up to $150. I've seen some of these go for nearly 3 times the manufacturer's suggested retail price of these things. And oh, these people are pathetic. They try to play salesmen. And they're like, relive the classics of your childhood. All these wonderful games. It's the hot holiday item. All this stuff. They're not telling you that they're not going to admit to you that they don't add any value to the equation. They stand in line so you can't get one at the regular $79.99 price, and then they resell it to you. They try to act like a gatekeeper. They dam up the flow of water. In this case, they purchase all the product because they're too much of a failed human in order to get like direct purchasing capability from Nintendo. You know, like how Computing Paradise does. So these people, they don't have a direct supply chain to the manufacturer. Oh, and they're so sad and pathetic. But they don't want to give up. They're like the little engine that could. So they buy them up, Target, Walmart, any place like that. And then they buy them. Once again, so you can't. And then they expect you to work harder at your job so that these people don't have to work. You know, I mean, you ever wonder why these greedy resellers that are severely price gouging this item right here? You ever notice how they have enough free time to just be there at these retail stores at the right time? You ever notice that? You ever notice that? You ever notice how they're able to get so many of these things? I mean, maybe they don't work a job. Maybe they got lots of free time on their hands. No wonder. I mean, it does make sense, doesn't it? And they feel entitled to make you work harder so that they don't have to. And yet, if you've ever worked a retail job, these are the same pieces of trash that come in the place of your employment and throw fits about pricing. If you're 5% above Amazon, they throw a fit. Yet they'll mark up an item sometimes multiple times of what the retail pricing is. Oh, and here's another thing. Yeah, I mentioned earlier about price matching eBay. You know, if you ever work retail, you ever get to know how retail works on the back end, not just store shelves and merchandising and stuff, but actually see what goes on with merchandise, inventory, and supply chain, you'll see that there's a certain amount of cost involved to obtain a product. Yeah. So, you ever heard of UMRP? You ever heard of manufacturer pricing? Yeah, you got a lot of these big name companies, whether it be Sony, Samsung, Apple, Ecobee, Nintendo, Nest. You know, a lot of these companies, they want their products to be presented a certain way. They have a certain reputation to maintain. So they control the pricing. And retailers really don't have much wiggle room on pricing. They're only allowed like a small percentage of variance in price whenever they price these items. And they're not really allowed to sell below a certain cost. Of course, it's not in their interest to sell above a certain cost either because of competition and things. So you're going to see a lot of these legitimate retailers selling the same products at just about the same price. So when you get on Craigslist and eBay and Facebook Marketplace and Reddit and Amazon, because Amazon will allow third-party sellers on their site just to drive traffic to it. Walmart started doing the same thing. Newegg started doing the same thing. And these online or these retailers that have an online presence are really trying to drive traffic to their website. And so they allow third-party sellers on there because it keeps more people looking at their website. Well, so when you see that ad on Facebook and it says that the Super Nintendo Classic Edition is, available on Walmart.com. Well, of course it is available on the website, but not through Walmart. If you go on there, you'll see that Walmart seldom ever has these things in stock. And by the way, since this thing, the Super NES Classic Edition, released on September 29th, 2017, this year, we're almost it's been less than 3 months, and what I've seen in retail stores is they're already on their fourth replenishment shipment. But you got these pieces of crap lowlives out there buying these things and reselling them, hoping that Nintendo doesn't produce many. These pieces of crap hope that they get lucky like they did with the NES Classic Edition, the original mini Nintendo. Where Nintendo only did like 2 shipments of them to each retailer and only maybe a dozen items initially. And I seen there was one failed human, a real greedy piece of trash, had the nerve to ask $88,000 for a little reproduction or re-release of a game console. $88,000 for an item that retailed with an MSRP of only $60. The cheapest that I seen a year ago in December of 2016 for the NES Classic Edition, the mini Nintendo, was about $180, about 3 times the manufacturer's suggested price. That's the cheapest. On average, you've seen it on Amazon and eBay, and especially eBay, for $15,000 average. You had a lot of people trying to sell it for $10,000. A lot of people trying to resell it, for $20,000. Trying to flip these things. They bought them in retail stores and tried to flip them for a profit. Like that. An item that retailed from the manufacturer's price at $60, and they're trying to flip it for $20,000. Don't you think that's just a little teensy bit greedy, right? Yeah. So that's how you know these people need to work the gulag of the of retail. Getting stepped on by the public, getting stepped on by people as selfish and rude and hostile and pushy, and just work a soul-crushing job for the rest of their life. There's a certain amount of cruelty I have for these people, and I would love to hire them to work right here at Computing Paradise so they get stuck dealing with Malcolm. If you remember him from the pilot episode of Adventures in Customer Service, oh man, Malcolm, you're such a piece of crap, aren't you? You definitely are. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So let that be a lesson to you. You start scalping things, you start mistreating the customers, disrespecting the gamers, being a greedy piece of trash, and trying to justify by saying, "Oh, it's capitalism. It's okay. Let me do it, buddy, man." Yeah. Then I will capitalism the rest of your life right here at Computing Paradise. Yeah. I will hire you right on the spot. And I should chain your leg to the sales counter so you can't leave. Oh man, make you gnaw through your own leg to escape the public. Oh yeah. That's the stuff I dealt with in my life, dealing with the public, trying to help people, resolve issues for people, get them the products they need, learn about the technology so you, the public, don't have to. Being that magical genie whose lamp you want to rub to grant you wishes, and yet you, the public, how did you treat me? Some of you were totally awesome people, but not all of you. Oh, man. Yep. One time a customer even asked me if I would price match eBay. And I laughed at him. I was standing right next to the register. And he says, price match eBay? And I just busted out laughing at the guy. And I said, would you price match eBay? Oh man, he got quiet about that. Oh yeah. Yeah, those people come in nickel and diming, wheeling and dealing. You got a career opportunity right here. Living the dream at Computing Paradise. Oh yeah! I would totally hire you for this soul-crushing job of dealing with the public. And that's what you should have ahead of you for how you treat people and disrespect the gamers. And just gouge the prices. You know, you just tear people's hearts out, don't you? You know, hey, don't you want the most popular video game system of the holiday season? It's only $150 and you get to relive your childhood. It's totally awesome. And there's great games, and there's Star Fox, and you can play Super Mario Kart with a friend, and oh, who doesn't like Super Mario World and Legend of Zelda? Oh yeah, only $150 for an item that MSRP, manufacturer's retail pricing of $79.99. So, I'll be accepting your job application here at Computing Paradise since I'm the store manager here. And I'll be seeing you soon.